Hello everyone, welcome back to this devlog video of my fantasy adventure mascot horror game Venge. In today's video, we're going to be continuing off of the work of the last devlog, working on the start of Act 2. So, some quick context before we start. Act 2 begins with a chase sequence through a tight, narrow cave. You and Lucy have to duck under obstacles and avoid traps in order to escape to safety. So in this episode, we're going to be making that chase. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so our first order of business today is we're going to be making this whole chase falling apart segment significantly more interesting. So if we play it right now, you can see that it looks really pretty and it has all these nice fog effects and stuff, and it's got some flashing lights, but walking through it isn't all that interesting. Oh my goodness. I forgot about that. But walking through it isn't all that interesting. It's kind of boring and a little bit lifeless. So we are going to be improving that. I think we should start with some spiky rocks. So I'll start adding those and I'll catch you when I finish. Alright, I've got them in the game and let's see how this looks. So when we walk up, cool. Okay, so it's kind of hard to see, and they move a little too slow, so let me fix that real quick. Alright, here we go. So if we get too close, perfect. And so then I have them randomly decide to do damage. I don't want them to always do damage because I feel like that might be a little bit too overpowered, but maybe the randomness will be replaced with something else in the future. But I like these. I think they look really nice, and they're definitely going to add a lot of excitement to the chase. So I'm going to start placing these throughout, and we will get started with that. Alright, here we are. So, there's the first one. I've given myself a little flashlight so we can see a little bit better. And let's just kind of walk through this. There's another one. There's another one. Good. Ooh. So we kind of walk. Ooh, those are good. So then we have to duck for that one. And then we need a light on this guy, so we have to duck underneath him. Oops, duck under there. This one comes in super slowly, so then we have to duck under here. And then we walk through here. And perfect. Sweet. And that's all the spiky rocks. That was pretty good. They're kind of a little bit hard to see, and I don't know if they're doing too much damage. So I'm going to reduce the chance of them actually hurting you, and I will add some lines to the... You'll see what I mean. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, here we are. Ooh, that was significantly better. I added a lot of particles, so particles explode out. Oh, that's so good. That looks really good. I love that a lot. That looks really, really good. Just a little bit less particles, and it looks like they're looping, so I'll have to fix that too. But a little bit less, and I think that'll help a lot. Alrighty, so the next part that we need to do is right here. So as we approach this little opening, I want it to be open like this, and then as we approach, then the rocks are going to collapse down and cover it. So I don't imagine this is going to be too hard. I have a feeling that I already have this animation from Act 2 already, so let me go implement that. Alright, let's take a look at how this works. So if we can just navigate through this. Oh no! I forgot something. 1 second. Alright, here we go. So when we walk up to it, perfect. The shake is a little not good. It's a little delayed and it lasts a little bit too long. So let me fix that real quick. Here we go. And I've also added some light and a slight strobe. So when we walk up, boom! Perfect. And we get some nice volumetric rays coming out from behind the rock, which kind of stick out. Just like that. There's Atlas in the background. He is ready to wake up. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. So now let's move on to the next thing. And for that next thing, I thought it would be really fun to introduce you to my brand new puppy, Atlas. So he's a 13-week-old puppy. We're not fully sure what breed he is. Let me know in the comments if you have any guesses. But he's the sweetest, craziest thing. He's already growing up so fast. We've had him for about a month. We adopted him from the shelter, and he's just made life so fun and so crazy. It's super, super cool to watch him explore the world for the first time. But that's all for now. Let's get back to Venge. Alright, so playtime is over, and I have been polishing and working on some minor stuff. I think the last step that we should do for now, before the live stream starts, is the music. So I already have the music made, I already have it ready to go, and so now we just have to put it in. So I want to walk you through that process. So, in order to add music into this first part of this game, what we need to do is, hopefully this is high quality enough, but I'll zoom in over here. We will add a new empty, and we're going to call this the music controller, just like that. And let's put this above the mesh here. And then if we go over here, then I have this component called the music builder. And what this lets me do is this lets me build music sequentially into different pieces, which is what the red source chase is. So let me drag and set everything up here. We need to add a new piece here. And I'm going to go into here, and we're going to call this the intro piece. And I think this is called Your Bones Rivet. So I think this is the intro. Here we go. Perfect. So now let's go and add in a different piece. So this is going to be the next part. So maybe we'll call this the midpoint. And this basically just makes it so that we can loop between these different pieces and the song can grow as the chase goes on. So let's add one final one left. This one's piece 2, which is a lot more intense. So we're going to call this the finale. With that done, it looks like we are all ready to go. Sorry if you can hear my vacuum in the background. But let's see if this works in game. All right, here we go. And I don't expect it to play any music until we jump off this platform here. I don't hear anything. All right, I fixed it. I just had my music turned down in the settings. But now when we get off the platform, perfect. Let me set the lighting. There we go. So then as we walk through here, ooh, didn't mean to jump there. Perfect. Let's start here. Perfect. It plays the right part. That's the music basically done. So I think it's now time for the live stream. So I'll see you guys there. Here we go. Hey guys. We are gonna have such a fun stream today. We have a lot planned and I'm really, really excited. In this live stream, we are gonna be working on the first steps for Lucy's house. It does need some work because, like, for example, some of these edges, it's very blocky. You know what I mean? Yeah, it does feel a little bit like glitch, you're right. It's very blocky. It doesn't have a lot of detail. Right, so let's get started by reorganizing a lot of this. So, and this part might be not as enjoyable, so I'll try my best to keep you guys entertained. But basically, if we switch over to this screen here, this is how the whole map is laid out, right? It's terrible. It's really, really, really bad. And we need to clean it up. So the way that I want to organize this set now is by rooms. We have this chandelier. This chandelier model is so ugly. What was I thinking? This is so bad. It's like so bad that it's almost good. Should we keep it? Let me do the first poll of the day. Should we keep it? See, because it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny if Lucy has like this really ugly chandelier that's kind of just sitting in her entrance. Like the entrance of like the house. It's like, whoa, you know, the entrance. You want to put your best stuff forward. But it is kind of funny if this is what Lucy decides to put in her entrance. This extremely ugly chandelier. Why is there a wall that can only be seen on one side? That's a great question. So in game engines, it is easier to render only one side of the wall. And so for a wall like this one, for example, the player is never going to be able to see this side of the wall. And so we don't have to waste time rendering that side of the wall. We can just not have it. And so when I'm modeling, I only have to model what is going to be visible to the player. And so that's why we can see through some of the walls, because I know that the player will never be right here, so I won't model it. However, for this wall, I know that the player is going to see this part of the wall, so I need to model it. That's basically why. Does that make sense? Let's import it into the game. So we'll import it into the game, we'll test it out a tiny bit, and then we'll work a little bit on the coziness. So all we have to do is we have the set selected. Let's turn this option off and hit enter. Boom. Now it's in the game. Check it out. Now it's all completely white right now because it doesn't have any materials yet. 3, 2, 1, apply. Boom! Check that out. All of her materials are being assigned. Oh. And she's missing significant parts of her house. There we go. Now it'll be fully. Okay, there we go. We're good. Ta-da! Here we are. All right, so we need to do some lighting, but here's the door. Oh, it triggered it again. Just ignore that. So let's walk down this hallway. Here's the kitchen and the dining room. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna ignore that pink tree. We're gonna ignore the pink tree. Here's our living room, which looks really nice as well. There's some stuff that's missing, but it'll be okay. All right, it looks like modeling and making it cozy is the winner. Sweet. What I'm kind of thinking, I think it would be really cute if we made a little, if this little plant, because the thing is, I'm just trying to make it look as, like, give as much personality as possible to Lucy's house, right? Everything like a generic little plant or generic little light, I'm gonna try to give a personality. And then I really also want to give off the vibe that everything here is kind of handcrafted. There we go. Oh, I like that a lot. I like that. I think that's really cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to use a glow lantern with an orange color. I think that would look the best. Add a little face to the pot. Oh, that'd be actually really cute. I like that idea. Make it a little, what's it called? A little 3 face. Let's try that. Let's see how that looks. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute, actually. We're gonna use that. Look at that. Look at that. I love that. What face should this one have? Maybe we'll do this and we'll pull in the insides. Like that. And then we'll rotate it like this. There we go. Give it a little happy face. We're gonna do a sad face for this one. Cool. Well, I think that's good. I think that it's very small, but I think it'll go a long way. I did want to move some of these couches upwards though. But that's all I have for you guys today, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for coming. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for everything. You guys are awesome. See ya. Bye. There we go. That stream was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed talking with you guys. I live stream every Saturday at around 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, so make sure to tune in next time. But we have a lot to do now. So we had added the music, but one aspect of Venge that I particularly like is the lighting changes with the music. And so I want to implement this. So in order to do this, I could replicate this all from scratch, or I can just reuse something that I've already made. So I'm gonna go do that. And boom, copied and pasted from the old version of Act 2. We have these 7 triangles. Now, what these triangles do is they are hand animated to match the rhythm and the beats of the song. And this is played, and then their positions are copied over to lights. So let me just show you. So if I start the scene up here, you can see the triangles are animated to the song. And then when the song moves on. So what this allows me to do is this allows me to control different lights individually. So for example, we can have some strobe lights that are connected to this red channel, and then we can have some kind of drum lights that are connected to this yellow channel. So I'm gonna play around, and I'm gonna hook up some lights, and we're gonna see how this looks. Alright, so I've gotten all the lighting done, and it now dances to the music. And rather than explaining it, I'd like to just show you. So ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Here we go. So first things first, the plants will now illuminate based on the music as well. And you can see we got some detail from some of these extra lights over here where they kind of strobe in sync with it. And if we can navigate around here, you can see we got some blue glowing flashlights, the glow flashlights from Act 1, and it seems like Lucy collected a good amount of them. And as we continue on down here, we gotta watch out for the chomper up here. And move down here. We can see some of the glow flashlights in action during this part of the song, where they illuminate some of these spaces much better than the red lights do, which should hopefully add some cool contrast and make this area look a lot nicer during the chase. And then if we scoot around here, then we are entering into Lucy's house area. And as the portal opens, you'll notice that there's a few glow flashlights that are shining on her house directly. And this is what it looks like. Which should just hopefully make it more dramatic. And yeah, I'm gonna keep adding more. Alrighty, so I have made my final improvements for this video to the chase, and I would like to show you now. So let's get started. Here we go, we spawn in. And then let's go. So as we walk, a bunch of spikes come out, we gotta dodge them, we're using crouch. And if we try to run, we can't because our legs are broken. So we have to be forced to walk. Ooh. And then we walk over here. And then we have to duck underneath this Venus chomper. We come up over here, and then at this point something will happen, blah 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 blah, and then we go through this gate, and then we end up over here, and then this giant pillar comes over to crush us, but we can dodge underneath it. And then as we go through, more punching, and then a giant pillar falls, and we get inside the house. Boom. Just like that. I'm super happy with that. I think that looks really awesome, and I cannot wait to actually add the story and to actually add all the drama to this scene. So it's going to be a lot different when you play it in the game, but I hope you enjoyed, and I think that's the end of the devlog. So hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully I'll be able to catch you in the next live stream on Saturday. And I will see you all later. Thank you to the Patreons. Thank you to everyone else. Y'all are amazing. Goodbye.